Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your great support always. I usually don't take it for granted. By supporting me again in this video, just do me a favor, ensure you like the video. I will appreciate you so much for that like. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for that like. Now, Kenyans, Jimmy Wanjigi's home, now as we speak, is surrounded by the Kenya Kwanza government vehicles for communications. These vehicles yenye unapata zinasaidia serikali for communication. And now they are surrounding the home of Jimmy Wanjigi. And so Jimmy Wanjigi is saying this. Why are unmarked vehicles outside my residence in MUTHAIGA for the last 1 week? This is clearly harassment on me and my family. This is surveillance. This surveillance is unprecedented. These vehicles are jamming all communication to my residence. This is whatever Jimmy Wanjigi is reporting currently. Remember, this story is coming just about 2 weeks ago. Jimmy Wanjigi was arrested and arraigned in court. The reason being he was accused sponsoring the Gen Z's demonstration Nane Nane. Then the main thing why he was squeezed and arrested was because they were saying that Jimmy Wanjigi is owning firearms that are not licensed. But again, in simple question, why they are going after Jimmy Wanjigi is so different with what the accusations are. Remember, Jimmy Wanjigi is a man that understands many things. The man Jimmy Wanjigi, when you look at even his understanding about the Adani deal, he usually explains it very clear. In terms of the debts we usually have, what we have paid and what we remain to pay, and how corruption is the duty of those who are in this government. Remember one thing. Do you know that Jimmy Wanjigi is the one who built the Thika highway? He was the one that was given this tender during the regime of Mwai Kibaki. He was the one who built the Thika highway together with his company. When you look at different tenders Jimmy Wanjigi has been having in different governments, Jimmy Wanjigi understands many things. And so when he comes out to expose several issues, it is true because he's connected with these individuals. He has been working with these individuals for longest period of time and they know each other. So even I want you to listen to how Jimmy Wanjigi is coming out to expose how the Adani deal is going to destroy us and turn us into slavery.
The Adani thing is a case in point. So what happens here with exploitation, extraction, and dominance is that now when you have taken our taxes to pay debt, because you become a slave to debt, what else do you come for? You come for assets, because we need to be bailed out. So a new colonization wave comes. Royal East Africa Company of 1887 is no different to what Adani is trying to do at the airport. You're now coming for our blue chip enterprises and taking them for 30 plus years and colonizing us further. The next to be Kenya Power. The next to be our climate. The next to be our minerals. So we become slaves for another 100 years. That is where we are. And are we going to agree this? I say no. We cannot continue this. This is the end of it. And the political class don't get it.
So now it is very clear. These individuals are terrified about Jimmy Wanjigi because Jimmy Wanjigi understands several issues that entails the governance. And so they usually don't feel comfortable when Jimmy Wanjigi is coming out many times trying to expose several scandals left, right, center. Remember the other time, Jimmy Wanjigi had accessed the document of the debts that we are having and debts that we should not pay because already we had paid everything. But you know, some individuals want to trade on our sweat. They will still complain and say that we are still paying debts. But deliberately, you can understand that Jimmy Wanjigi was also connected to that issue of Eurobond when he exposed how Uhuru Ruto spent 1 billion for their own benefit. And it was only $1 billion that was distributed in several government development. And even despite of that, several monies end up into few individuals' pocket. Now, when they came out asking, where is 1 billion Kenyan shillings? Because the Eurobond that we got was $2 billion. But when you look at the monies that were distributed was 1 billion. Where is 1 billion? So Jimmy Wanjigi understands these issues very clearly. And remember the death of Jacob Zuma. Jimmy Wanjigi had narrated, saying that Jacob Zuma had called him before his death, that he had several evidence about the Eurobond. But before Jacob Zuma succeeded to explain to Jimmy Wanjigi what was happening, and by then, Jacob Zuma was also to meet Raila Odinga. That the time Jacob Zuma life perished just like that. So Jimmy Wanjigi is a threat because he's a man that understands many things. He has been part and parcel of the government. Some tenders, he has been doing them. Look at the tender of building Thika Highway. I think what? 30 billion Kenyan shillings. 30 billion Kenyan shillings, if I'm not wrong. That was the estimation that we were told Jimmy Wanjigi used to build the Thika Highway. Is Thika Highway helping us or not? It is helping us in Nairobi. Without Thika Highway, sasa tungekuwa na problem kubwa sana Nairobi County. You know, as a capital city of Kenya. Ingekuwa shida sana. So when you see Jimmy Wanjigi coming out to elaborate some issues, ni mtu amekuwa mwandani wa hizi serikali anaelewa. In terms of Eurobond, you know, in terms of around Kimwarai Dam scandals, you know, in terms of KEMSA scandal, the COVID billionaires, when you come to the issue of Adani deal, you know, several things. When you look at the SGR scandal, Jimmy Wanjigi understands these things, and sometimes these people are terrified because he will come out to leak the documents, because it is easier for Jimmy Wanjigi to access these documents. So the governments that we are having, or rather, the government that we have been having since the regime of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, imekuwa mess. Imekuwa totally mess. Why? Because we are being fooled and portrayed as slaves. You know? As slaves. But because we don't have anyone to speak it out, and by grace of God, we are having someone who clearly understands everything, they want to finish him. Why can't the government of the day become accountable and honest with the leadership? Because it is us about to now pay power. It is not them giving us power all the way around. So I think the right time now is that we must think about ourselves, we as Kenyans. Because you might see Jimmy Wanjigi is too much, but again, why raid him? Why raid him? All the time. And by the way, have you realized that Jimmy Wanjigi is a threat to every government of the day? Wakati wa Uhuru Kenyatta, Jimmy Wanjigi. Wakati wa Ruto, Jimmy Wanjigi. Because Jimmy Wanjigi understands many things. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of your great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Bye-bye till you meet in another video.